Welcome to the Spotlight segment. This is a segment dedicated to interviews with developers or interesting happenings in the world of Android. And now for this week's episode, here's your Spotlight. Chugging along, let's move on to the Spotlight segment. And of course, we're talking about the big one, of course, Android 16 public release for the qualifying Pixel phones. And this is what I like about Google, though, because they kind of go way back. I mean, going back all the way to Pixel 6. Samsung, I'm looking at you. You need to learn from Google, and most especially if you are jumping in bed with Google, learn to do things right, all right? But we got that finally, Android 16. John, we talked about this and we were predicting when it was going to be. I think you came the closest to it because you were thinking the 12th and you just missed it by a couple steps, didn't you?
Yeah, I think if I recall correctly, my prediction was later than everyone else's. So I think most of you, Salah picked his birthday because that's how he is. But,
he's being greedy. Yeah.
And then you guys, you and Ed chose May, right? I don't remember what Kareen said. What'd you say, Kareen?
I don't remember honestly, but I think we were close in our predictions. Like me and you and I, we were close. I think, weren't we?
Yeah.
I think yes.
Yeah. I think you are also in June, but later in the month of June, Ed and I were way off because we were thinking Google I/O because there was nothing left. All the betas were out, all the stabilities were in place, and so why hold baby back? But we were wrong, and of course, all the other leaks, June 3rd, June 4th, everybody was wrong. June 10th was it?
So, a friend of mine, I believe, what he does, speaking of Android 16, before he updates or after he updates, I can't remember, but what he does, and he told me this was for a fresh start, he would factory reset his phone.
Now, let's look at some of the fixes or whatever that came with the Android 16. So we got that advanced protection. Of course, those of you that are in the QPR or in the beta, we've seen a lot of these things. But if you're just getting it as a rollout to your device, believe it or not, I unrolled or unenrolled my Pixel 8 Pro. And so I just wanted to have that. I was being nostalgic. I want to see, getting that fresh new OS update. So I unenrolled my Pixel 8 Pro, and then it rolled me back to Android 15. And then once that happened, then boom, there was Android 16 stable version. But here are the changes that you will find. Not much to write home about, but a lot of the things are going to be coming in the QPRs and feature drops and all of that. But here are some of the things that we have. Advanced protection. This feature protects your Pixel phone with just one tap on the switch. For this feature, it enables the following features: device theft protection, protection from harmful apps, 2G network monitoring, safer browsing on the web, and all of the available Google top spam calls features. So, for example, you got all the spammers and trying to give you spam calls and all of that. So this is part of that. But, instead of enabling them one by one, it's just one switch. You go in there into the settings and that you tap on that advanced protection, and it just handles all of them. The second one is bundled notifications. You guys know how it is. Notifications are kind of like a mess sometimes. This means that notifications should look less cluttered because of the forced bundling of notifications from the same app instead of 20 separate Telegram or WhatsApp notifications. I know we've been talking about these things, and so it's nice to see them doing that, and I hope it works. The third one would be adaptive Android apps. This one is aimed at foldables and tablets. With this Android 16, we have a sneak peek of what Google would be enforcing later on with apps to reach all corners of the tablet, regardless of the size. And so I know it's kind of been a mess in the past, so I'm glad they're working on that. And so if you have a foldable, you have a tablet, you should have a better experience. Clearer calling with hearing devices, those of you with hearing aids and all of that, it's better implementation going on here. Next one, though, is predictive back gestures, whether you're using the native gestures or the three-button navigation. Now you'll see those effects as well. Some of these things are visuals anyway, so may not matter much to you and I. Next one would be live updates. We know we talk about live updates coming through. These later updates would make it possible. In other words, Google is building an in support for live notifications, which are ongoing notifications that shows you the status of things like food deliveries and all of that. John orders something from DoorDash, and be able to kind of have like almost real time knowing where that guy is hiding at, dropping it off at your neighbors instead of your house. You catch him later on, John. So we'll see how that works out. Next one, of course, is that desktop windowing. Later on this year, on tablets, Google is going to enable a desktop windowing like Samsung. Samsung has this on the Samsung DeX. So Google led to the party as always. Next, we talk about bonuses. We're talking about HDR screenshots, adaptive refresh rates in more apps, identity check, etc., etc. Those are some of the things that are here with this Android 16 public release, and some of the expressive material, three things that would be coming with all the QPRs and some of that. But you may be seeing those in some of the Google feature drops.
The group notifications, that's actually kind of smart of Google to do that. They're kind of learning something or two from Fruitvale over there. Apple's group notification. I don't even know when they introduced that, but Google and the rest are taking features from Apple and saying, hey, you know what, let's put these features in our devices. And sure enough, here we are with another feature that they pretty much kind of stole from Apple.
Yeah, I think I like the bundling.
Microsoft Teams and Telegram and Gmail, and you get it.
Yeah, I call it that. I don't want to ping, 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 because I hate those sounds. So if you have rapid pinging going on, it could be nerve-wracking. So I'm glad to see that coming through. John, don't you like the bundling? It's a good thing.
Yeah, I like the fact that they stopped letting developers choose. Like, bundling's been around for a while, but they left it up to the developer, and a lot of developers are not really responsible with it. For example, you jokingly mentioned DoorDash when you're talking about live updates, but that's one of the apps that bothers me. Like DoorDash, every time I get a notification, your order has been placed, your order has been picked up, your driver's getting close, your order has been dropped off. All of those show up as separate notifications in my notification shade because DoorDash has not grouped them like they're supposed to, right? So, like, for example, in Telegram, they do group. Like, it is grouped into one notification because they do it how they're supposed to, right? So this isn't a new feature, but I'm glad that Google is taking it out of the hands of the developer and basically forcing everything to bundle at the same time. And, related to this is well, not related to this, but also a notification feature that was introduced in Android 16 is the cooldown. So what happens with the notification cooldown is if you get multiple notifications, like let's say you get 3 notifications from the same app in 1 minute or something, it'll temporarily silence that app so that you're not alerted every time you get a notification. You'll still receive all the notifications and they'll still all be bundled in together, but it will stop. In those cases when somebody's blowing up your phone, as we say, it will quiet it down a little bit for a little while, which is also a nice feature. I don't think Apple's added anything like that.
Looking at you.
Now, with all of that, Google didn't leave us high and dry. With that, though, we also got the feature drop. So if you have a Pixel device, a qualifying Pixel device, you also have that bundled with the feature drop that comes along with Android 16 public release. And these are some of the things that we find there in that feature drop. Of course, we're talking about items that were like part of like the QPR earlier on, and some things may be a little bit different. And so we're starting to see this feature drop that came through with the Android 16 beta public release. And so we got the Google Pixel VIP widget. So this pulls info from your contact app. In other words, it gets information from the contact app. In other words, you are shown your closest family and friends, wherein you can see a clean widget with the last call and messages, which includes those from the likes of WhatsApp. Another feature of this is that it would soon show items like upcoming birthdays and anniversaries as well. And when they are sharing their real-time location, you'd be able to post little notes for them. I know I'm very bad when it comes to anniversaries and all of that. I'm terrible. My kids' birthdays or wedding anniversaries, just forget it. I'm not there when it comes to that. I always forget those things. I'm terribly bad with those things. Of course, as always, they'll bypass your DND. So, you have people that are your closest friends or, family members. When you have DND going on, of course, they'll bypass that. The next one, though, would be that redesigned Google Photos editor. The next one will be Gboard custom stickers from Pixel Studio. By using the power of Pixel Studio and generative AI, Gboard can now create a sticker of almost anything you want or anything you can think of. This all happens from the Gboard, that is from the keyboard, where you can type a prompt, for example, and watch that become something. So that's a magic happening here. I don't know. I'm not into emojis. I know Karen and Sally, they're my emoji kids. I always leave that stuff to you guys. Go out and make those red faces or grinning faces. John, Sally, talk about that. You love that emoji, don't you?
Yeah, I really do. And I use it often. It's part of my text. And yeah, mostly the tears of joy.
It's funny,
joy.
This feature shows how far Apple is behind in AI, because they just at WWDC announced that you can now combine 2 emojis, like the example they used is a sloth and a light bulb, to show that you were slow in getting the idea or getting the joke. But here Google is saying literally you can just use a text prompt to create anything you want and then send it as a sticker.
I really like it. I mean, we talk about poop emojis and all of that. John, remember we talked about that in one of our episodes, and I'm like, why in the world would anyone have a poop emoji? And I know my wife, we were talking about it, and she said, it has a face. I'm like, well, why do I care if poop has a face? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of poop emojis, did you hear? So Apple's calling their new UI Liquid Glass, right? But when they uploaded on their YouTube channel the thumbnail for it where it said Liquid Glass. The YouTube play button was covering up the GL, so you can do the math there and see what it was showing up as.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So I don't know. You guys like emojis? I'm not an emoji kind of kid, so I leave that to you guys.
Yeah.
Mackenzie, you like emojis?
No, I am not fond of emojis. I don't use them all the time. I don't even use them at all. I'm a rare case that doesn't like emojis. I couldn't care.
Yeah, I think maybe sometimes people use that, expressing maybe you're frustrated with something or whatever, kind of pissed off. Excuse my Espanol, and you may send an emoji out there, saying it in so many words. So I can see where the emoji thing is, but I'm not that big on emoji. Now, the next one is continuing here. Gboard Pixel Studio Network Google Photos Editor is the other one. Battery health indicator for Pixel 8a and up or newer. I kind of just hope, though, that Google would push this or trickle this down to other devices. For example, even the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro don't have it for some reason. I don't know why that is. John, we've talked about, that battery health. I want to buy a secondhand phone, a used phone. And for example, I want to know what battery health is, right? In other words, it determines whether or not I want to buy that phone. So I think this is a very important thing that every single phone out there should have it. What do you think, or what do you say about this, John? Is that a good thing? For me, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's there. It does. I mean, it depends on if you're trying to buy a device or trying to sell a device. I guess if you're trying to sell a device, you kind of, and it's old and worn out, you kind of don't want it to show. But it's good for everyone, I think, because if you've taken good care of your device, you can kind of prove it in a way.
Yeah, because I think for me, if people are honest, tell me what the battery health is, so I determine whether or not this is something I want to get. And also, I think it also gives you more, power in the sense that you could get more buck for your phone if it has a good battery health. The next one is camera education. In other words, so the camera is going to, so if there's an icon, if you're looking at something, it's going to show you what it's going to look like when you capture it. So maybe not for us, but of course we have that description for us. So, the camera app is getting better and better for us, those of us that use the Pixel phones. The next one, though, is the Pixel Watch gets expressive transit. So, for example, the Pixel Watch is getting that transit payments to allow you to tap and pay with your screen off and without having to open the Google Wallet app. This requires Wear OS 5.1 or newer. Next one is the expressive captions. So I think this one is probably more for people that are maybe hard of hearing. So an upgraded version of Google's live caption. These captions will attempt to automatically capture the intensity or nuances or emotion of what is going on when someone is talking or things like that. So, so if you're kind of deaf or hard of hearing, you're going to be able to see the expression on that person's face and be able to know what's going on. So I think Google is only getting better and better when it comes to these things, John. Like you mentioned, Apple was just catching up with the emojis. I'm not even thinking of the poop emojis here, but so this sounds very good to me. Next one would be the safety check timer extension. So, for example, you have someone that wants to make sure that you are safe out there. You can extend the time to let them know, yeah, I'm still here. But, if you don't want them to, you can limit the time, but you can extend the time that it lasts for. The next one will be customize Google Home favorites. On Pixel tablets and Watch and other Android tablets and watches, Google is letting you customize your Google Home favorites. So if you have those tablets and those foldables, you should be able to do those things. I don't know how that is. John, you still have your foldable? I got rid of mine a long time ago.
No, I the Pixel Fold. No, I think I ended up returning that.
Yeah, but you still have the tablet, don't you know? Or you got rid of it? I know you had a tablet.
No, I got rid of the tablet
You got
as
rid of
well.
it.
The Pixel
Okay.
tablet. Yeah, I just have Galaxy tabs now.
Oh, there we go. That's right. The next one, so the 11th place, we have hearing aids feature with LE audio. Your kind of deaf person, LE audio features now work with hearing aids on Pixel 9 and newer phones running Android 16. 12, a Pixel recorder, hearing aids compatibility. So, Google Recorder works with that now as well. The next one is expanded features. The following features are now expanding to other countries and other devices. Satellite SOS, this is now expanding to Australia. AI summaries in Recorder, this is expanding to French and German languages. Clear voice mode in Recorder, this is expanding to Pixel 8 phones and newer devices. So that would be some of the items in the feature drop that dropped alongside with the Android 16 public release. I'm excited we have it. It looks like Samsung is going to be, I think it wouldn't be too long before we have Samsung push out One UI 8. John, should we set another date and see if we get it right? Karen, when do you think we're going to see stable One UI 8? I'm going to begin with you, girl. When do you think we'll see it?
Okay, I think it will be in August.
Give me a date. Do we have a date?
Only August.
I want a date, girl. When is it?
Okay, I'll give you a date range between the 15th of August and the 25th of August.
So we have a date then?
Yeah, 15 and 25.
Doggone you, girl. Okay, so between the 15th and the 25th, right? So I want to say August 20. John, what says you?
We're talking about One UI here, right?
Yeah.
One UI 8?
Yeah. Stable.
I'm gonna say July 24th.
Sally, my man, give me a date. Give us a date that you think this thing is going to be coming out.
It's going to be August 12th.
Mackenzie, give us a date. You got a date, girl? Give us a date.
I think it's going to be released in like September, like the 1st or October 1st.
I love it.
So just to be clear, this is on any device, right? Because
it's 25.
The Flip 7. No, did you say S25?
Yeah.
No. I didn't say
He didn't say
S25.
S25.
No, I said just the general
Because
release.
the Flip 7 and the Fold 7 are going to come with it. So
yeah, I think so.
And they're going to probably be released at the end of June. I mean, at the end of July. So that's why I chose the 24th.
No,
Let's see.
we meant the rollout, not the devices that will come with it pre-installed.
Yeah, we're talking about a
Exactly.
rollout.
You can change. You can change.
But no. So even if it's so, let's say for example, you know, the Fold 7 devices come with it. My thinking is that Samsung though would also roll out the final One UI 8 maybe on that day or after a day after that.
No,
you
they
know.
won't. They didn't with the S25. The S25 series had One UI 7, and they didn't actually start rolling it out to older devices until like 2 months later.
Yeah.
Did I
So
say
you're right. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking August 20th. You know, Karen says between the 15th and the 25th. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about when it will roll it out to other devices.
Okay, then I guess
You want to change your
I'm going to
date?
say September 1st.
September. So you and McKinsey are looking at September somewhere in there in the fall. All right. Sally, you still sticking with the 12th of July?
No, I'm with August the 12th.
Or August the 12th. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did I get July from?
Yeah.
Maybe it's your girl's.
It's too
birthday.
soon. Yeah, exactly. She's coming on July, so.
Oh, there you go.